it's too good to be true, it probably is. We ended up going to the Grapevine Coin Show this weekend, and I wanted to show you guys something that got us stumped and trapped, and something that you should look out for when you're buying Redfield holders. We ended up buying this Carson City 1883 in a Redfield holder at the show. We ended up looking at the side of this piece after we bought it, or kind of when we were buying. We wanted to buy this to show you guys a simple business lesson about what you shouldn't be doing and what you shouldn't be selling to other dealers or other customers. When you're taking a look at this Redfield holder, you can see there's a Carson City inside. This coin, if it was in this holder legitimately, it'd be worth about $3,500. Carson Cities and Redfields are extremely scarce. This coin was it was swapped from another coin that used to be in this holder. And why would somebody do that? It's because they can make a good profit off of somebody else thinking it is a rarity, and it is not a rarity. And I'm going to show you how and what they did. If you're looking at the side of the Redfield holder, you could see that I could almost open up the Redfield holder with my hands. And there also is this like residue on the side of the holder. And that actually is super glue. Some glue they tried to use to reseal the holder after they swapped the coin. Oh, that's interesting. And then after I bought it, just to show you guys something, I saw the other side, and the other side was glued as well. When you see something like this, watch out, because you could get trapped and you could lose a lot more than a few $100. Ouch. So the first coin I would like to talk to you guys about is this 1879 Philadelphia Morgan dollar. We're going to read the description first and then talk about the photo itself. Does the description of the coin match with the photos that are being represented in this eBay listing? So a lot of places that end up hurting collectors is on eBay, because there's certain sellers that use certain descriptions and use certain titles to get people to think a certain way about a coin that actually isn't true. And we'll talk about that in just a few moments after we speak about this coin. It's an 1879 P Morgan, huge neon dual rainbow, spectacular color, MS+++++, wow, no reserve, 63304. And then they have an additional description below that, eye-popping color, big money toner, must-see, rare. So, when you're taking a look at this coin, you could see a few things from a trained eye as a numismatist. So, something that you should be really focusing on as someone that's a new collector is training your eye on what is wear, what is eye appeal, what is cleaning, what is environmental damage, and what actually does bring money as something that is colorful, right? And so when you're taking a look at this coin, you could start in the center of the coin, which is where the hair is, right above the ear. You can actually see that there's wear on the ear. So this coin not only is poorly photographed, the coin actually does have wear on it. So it's not mint state, it's not gem quality, almost as they're indicating in the title of this coin. But also, when you're taking a look at this coin, you can tell as a trained eye that this photo has been juiced. What does juiced mean? So when I take a photo of a certain coin, I can actually add filters to that coin, or add saturation to that coin, or add vibrance to that coin's photo, so it looks better than what it actually would look like in hand. And the reason why I would do this is to increase my profit. So when we're talking about working on a profit or getting a profit, if coin dealers end up aiming for a 15 to 20% profit margin, sometimes even less, that's a natural amount of profit margin to have. But if this person who realizes this coin isn't what it is in hand, they're going to try to increase profit margin by not only misrepresenting the coin in its title, but also juicing the photo to make someone pay more than what they should. We're also taking a look at the rim of the coin. So when you're taking a look at the rim of the coin, you could see that there's some environmental damage on the rim. You could see these black spots that are really bad. And you can also see that there is wear on the cheek. There's wear on the cheek that's descending down from the eye all the way down to the chin. You can also see a little bit above the eye as well. When you're taking a look at this coin itself, you know that this coin is not uncirculated. You know this coin has been juiced, so it's not a monster toner. And you also know that this coin really shouldn't be going for too much. But sadly, this seller and many others, this coin will probably sell for $150 or $200. And the main question is, why does someone do this? And why someone does this is what is called greed. So if I'm walking through a coin show and I see a coin like this coin is probably terminal. It's dark. It's not as attractive as what this photo seems. But there might be a dealer selling it for $40 because they know it's AU, they know it's toned, they know it might be clean, they know it might have environmental damage. They're just trying to make their 20% profit on the coin, and they're trying to sell it to a collector or a dealer. So this guy will walk to the show, he'll pick up that coin for $40, then he'll go home, make a fake title, fake description, and juice the coin. He'll post it on eBay and sell it for $200. And when that collector that purchased it from him takes it to a coin show or sends it in for grading, he's going to lose a lot of money. and he's going to be hurt and he's going to be sent out of the hobby. So this coin in itself is a trap because it's trying to take away money from a collector based on a dealer's greed. So we're going to use that example against our example on when we're selling on eBay. And what we allow ourselves to do is be very accurate about our description of what a coin is based on our knowledge of the hobby. And so that guarantees us a certain profit margin because we know what the coin sells for, but we also feel like we're representing the coin well, even if it has certain problems. So when you're taking a look at this coin, this is a coin that we just sold. This is a 1921 high relief, actually titled it Unk BU Uncirculated Details Cleaned. When you're looking at this coin face up, it may show you things, it may be hard to see, but someone that has a trained eye like ourselves, we end up saying this coin's been cleaned. We're going to spend a few moments right now showing you guys that coin so we can give you guys a better understanding of what we're talking about and why it's good to be honest. See, when you're taking a look at this coin itself, face up, it looks really, really nice, right? So if I'm taking a photo of this coin, putting it on our eBay, I have the opportunity to not actually be honest with what the coin might look like in hand, right? But since we are more reputable dealers, we're going to be honest about what we see on the coin. So when you're taking a look at the obverse of the coin, you could see there's some light wipiness in the fields there. So you could see like this brushing on the left side. It goes back and forth, right? So it'll go to the left side, go to the right side. Someone took a brush to try to take away these imperfections in the field. You can kind of see that down there by the date as well, right? So this coin is uncirculated, but it is a details coin. I had the opportunity to post it not as a details coin, but since we're honest, you can see once again, there's more issues right here next to 1. So this coin definitely has been cleaned before, but judging by the photos, it's hard to tell. So that's why when you're posting a coin on eBay, you can actually let everybody know what the coin has in terms of problems, but also in terms of condition. So being accurate as possible lowers your profit margin, but it keeps you having people coming back because you are an honest seller that just wants them to get the coin that they are actually looking at. The next coin I would like to talk to you guys about is this 1880s Morgan dollar. That was posted by the same seller. We're not going to mention any sellers, but you'll be able to see this by training your eye like we said. When you're taking a look at this 1880s Morgan dollar, you could see from the photo that the mirrors look really attractive. You could see that the devices and the fields have a really stark distinction, and that's what's called proof-like, and sometimes deep mirror proof-like. So when you're taking a look at this coin, someone might say, wow, this coin's undergraded. Wow, this coin has deep mirrors. Wow, PCGS really messed this one up. And then when you take a look at the title, it says 1880s Morgan dollar, PCGS MS65, huge undergrade. Looks ultra proof-like. Wow, no reserve. And then when you're taking a look at the description that they have to actually pay money for as well, or a percentage of the sale, it says huge mirrors, spectacular cameo, looks 66 dimple, PQ+++++. So once again, we're falling into this trap of the title doesn't actually match what the coin is, and then the coin that is photoed is not actually what the coin is that you'll see in hand. We're falling into many different traps here. So what we actually did, because we can actually look at this coin further, is we used the PCGS TrueView to take a look at it and see if it matches what this photo is from the seller. So when you look at the TrueView, you can see that the mirrors are relatively pleasant. Right? There's a few little spots where you could see that there actually might be a distinction between the devices and the fields, which would call it proof-like. But PCGS itself, which is a third-party independent grading company, they said this coin is not proof-like and it's not deep mirror proof-like. And when you're taking a look at the TrueView, you can see that there are missing spots that would really bring this coin together to be a proof-like example. The reason why third-party graders actually exist and why they were created is because of issues like this. So back in the day when they made PCGS and NGC, they said, hey guys, we're going to send this coin off to PCGS so we can come to an understanding as a buyer and a seller on what the coin's actual grade is. And so when you're taking a look at this example, you can definitely tell that this person is manipulating the photos because it's not accurate to what PCGS is actually posting. And they're trying to juice the photo and make the description as awesome as possible so they can try to get as much money from the collector as possible. And then when they get that coin in hand, they'll say, hey, you know what? I bought a nice coin. I got taken for a bunch of money and I might quit, or I may not buy any more coins off eBay, or I may not trust any dealers, right? So you have a really bad cascading effect on when someone does this like this. And so I hope you guys learn a lot from this because it's a sad thing to see. Alright guys, so now we're going to use that example and compare it to a coin that we have listed on eBay as well, just so you guys can get an understanding. So when you're taking a look at this 1880s Morgan dollar, it's graded PCGS MS64 proof-like, and we add an additional descriptor to the coin in the title called rim toned. We're trying to give someone an understanding of it being proof-like, but also that it has a little bit of character to it, which is the rim toning. And so now we're going to spend a few moments showing you guys not only what this coin looks like on eBay, but also what this coin would look like in hand if you were to purchase it. Alright guys, so we're taking a look at this 80s Morgan dollar. It's graded Mint State 64 proof-like we said. The rim toning is very nice. And when you're taking a look at the coin, you can see the contrast between the devices and the fields. You can see that this coin was actually graded by PCGS and it is actually proof-like. And so when you're buying a coin, photos are not necessarily the most accurate because videos and holding in hand are much better. But as a reputable seller, you really should be using the most accurate photos as possible with the best titles as possible. So when someone gets this coin, they have a great feedback for you, very nice positive feedback, so that you can continue to sell on eBay without any questions of your character or your integrity as a dealer. But when you're taking a look at this coin, you can definitely see that the photos are very on par with what the coin looks like. It does have some rim toning on the reverse. It does have nice proof-like fields, and the third-party grader did grade this coin what it actually is. And so we're not trying to get rich. We're just trying to sell a coin as it is because we love coins and we love sending coins to customers, especially coins with nice eye appeal like this one. So the last coin I want to take a look at is this 80 Morgan dollar that has been posted on eBay as well. So when you're taking a look at the title of the coin, you can see that it's 1880 proof-like VAM7 MS+++ Morgan silver dollar frosted gem out of an album. This coin in itself has a few issues that I normally try to not open myself up to as a dealer when you're posting things online, which is I am basically assigning a certain grade to a coin. So when you're seeing MS+++, he's saying this coin is a 64. He's also calling it proof-like when it hasn't been labeled proof-like. He also is calling it fresh out of an album, like no one's ever found this coin before. It's fresh to the market. Right? So does he know that it's fresh to the market? Does he believe and know it's MS+++? And is it actually proof-like? So there's a lot of questions that are surrounding this coin that really won't go answered until you submit this coin to PCGS or NGC. And so what dealers do sometimes in the name of greed is that they actually say, hey, you know what? What I could do is I can get a little bit more money if I didn't actually submit this coin to PCGS. This coin might come back Mint State 62 and might be only worth a few $100s. This coin might come back Unk Details. This coin is not going to come back proof-like. So what I can do is I can actually use this coin raw, post it on eBay for an exorbitant amount of money, and if someone falls for it, I get a huge profit margin and I don't have any of the recourse of this coin not grading well. And what a lot of dealers that are reputable try to do is they try to post strictly graded coins on their eBay. Now I sell graded coins with Casey on eBay and we sell raw coins on eBay, but we are very particular about the grade and very particular about what has happened to the coin in the past. If I don't know the history of the coin, I'm not going to call it fresh. If I think the coin has been cleaned, I'm going to call it cleaned. If I think the coin's a certain grade based on how hundreds of examples have been graded, I will call it that grade. But I will never say this coin could CAC. This coin is proof-like. This coin is MS+++++. If it's not being marked by a third-party grader, if it's not being attributed proof-like by a third-party grader, I am not that person, right? Because I am susceptible to greed or a lack of integrity when I use a title or when I take photos that may not actually show what the coin looks like in hand to get you to pay an exuberant amount of money for a coin. What I would suggest for a lot of people, which is what people do normally now, is that they don't actually buy coins on eBay that are raw anymore. They like to buy coins that are certified because they feel like there's more trustworthiness in the third-party grader than the dealer themselves selling it as a raw coin. So it's unfortunate that we have dealers like this, but that's just the way it goes. So watch out for coins like this because they're not accurately graded and they're going to get you stuck and they're going to get you trapped. If you guys want to support us and what we do on a daily basis when we offer coins to you guys can check out our higher end purchases on our website, AcoushaCollectibles.com. And you can also reach out to us and find us on eBay, where we post a lot of lower end new purchases. So you guys can buy coins on there, keep us in business, and keep reputable dealers on the market because we try our best to bring you guys coins that are accurately graded and accurately described. So thank you guys so much.